The 1990s produced some of the finest cars in history, a period right before the widespread digitization of vehicles. During this time, cars became safer without being burdened by excessive safety features, and advancements in engineering provided just the right amount of power for fast, yet fun driving below speed limits. This decade was marked by iconic Japanese domestic market legends like the Skylines, Subaru WRX, Lancer Evolutions, and various sports cars from Toyota. The Supra, with its famed 2JZ engine, became a staple in the tuner community, while its more affordable counterpart, the Celica, dominated the rally scenes. In this same era, Toyota introduced another key player, the MR2. Positioned as a mid-engine sports car, it offered the thrill of a Ferrari, but at the cost of an MX-5. Spanning 3 decades and 3 generations, the MR2 was available both as a coupe and a convertible, each version carving out its iconic status. So join us as we delve into the captivating story of the Toyota MR2, exploring its rise, evolution, and the factors that led to its eventual decline in the automotive world. And without much ado, let's get started. Design and technical evolution. Launched in 1984, the first-generation MR2 was a revelation in the sports car market, particularly due to its mid-engine configuration, a rarity in vehicles of its price range. It was designed with a clear focus on balancing performance with daily usability. The compact and lightweight chassis featured a transversely mounted 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine that delivered 112 horsepower, which was considerable for its size at the time. This engine, coupled with the car's low weight, allowed for agile handling and brisk acceleration. The design was straightforward yet sporty, featuring pop-up headlights and a wedge-shaped profile that became iconic. The first-generation MR2 was not just about its looks or engine specs. It also introduced features such as 4-wheel independent suspension and rack and pinion steering that emphasized its sporty credentials. In 1989, the second generation of the MR2 was introduced, reflecting significant changes in both aesthetics and mechanics. This model was larger and had a more rounded aerodynamic shape compared to the angular lines of its predecessor. The new design aimed to improve the car's aerodynamics and stability at high speeds. Under the hood, the second generation came with increased power options, including a naturally aspirated 2-liter engine and a turbocharged variant that significantly boosted performance, offering up to 200 horsepower. The MR2 also received upgrades in terms of luxury and technology, including features like power steering, anti-lock brakes, and improved interior amenities. This generation highlighted Toyota's push towards creating a more refined sports car that could compete both on the track and in comfort. The third and final generation, introduced in 1999, marked another departure in design philosophy, shifting towards a more contemporary and less aggressive style. This version was lighter and smaller than the W20, emphasizing efficiency and maneuverability. It featured a convertible design, popularly known as the MR2 Spider, with a soft top that appealed to a broader market looking for a fun, affordable convertible sports car. The engine was downscaled to a 1.8-liter 4-cylinder, but thanks to its reduced weight, the car maintained a dynamic performance characteristic of the MR2 lineage. This generation focused heavily on achieving optimal handling and balance, employing a more sophisticated suspension system and continuing with the mid-engine layout that allowed for a low center of gravity and near-perfect weight distribution. Each generation of the MR2 brought technological advancements that kept the model at the forefront of its class. The original MR2 was among the first affordable cars to feature a mid-engine layout, which was instrumental in achieving the balance and agility that the car became known for. The introduction of features such as electronic fuel injection in the first generation and later advancements like turbocharging and variable valve timing in the second generation underscored Toyota's dedication to enhancing performance through technology. Market reception and sales. The Toyota MR2's market reception and sales performance paint a detailed picture of its impact across different automotive markets globally. As a sports car that offered unique features at an accessible price, the MR2 found varying degrees of success across its 3 generations, influenced by economic factors, competition, and changing consumer preferences. The first generation MR2, introduced in the mid-1980s, tapped into the growing enthusiasm for sports cars, spurred by economic recovery and increased disposable income, particularly in the United States and Europe. Its novel mid-engine design and affordable pricing helped it gain a foothold in these competitive markets. In Japan, its home market, the MR2 was well received due to its innovative technology and excellent handling, characteristics highly valued in the dense urban environments of Japan. During its initial years, the MR2 sold robustly, with sales peaking in the early years after its launch. Transitioning to the second generation in 1989, the MR2 aimed to build on its predecessor's success, but faced a tougher market environment. The early 1990s economic downturn affected sales, especially in high-income countries where discretionary spending on vehicles like sports cars was cut. Despite this, the MR2's performance versions, particularly the turbocharged models, maintained a cult following due to their enhanced power and improved driving dynamics. This generation saw significant sales in Europe, where the sports car market remained relatively strong. The third generation, introduced in 1999 as the MR2 Spider, encountered a market that had dramatically shifted towards SUVs and luxury vehicles. Despite this, the MR2 Spider carved out a niche for itself by appealing to enthusiasts looking for a lightweight, back-to-basics sports car. Its sales were modest compared to earlier generations, reflecting broader trends away from small sports cars. Comparative analysis with competitors. The Toyota MR2 stands as a notable example of an affordable sports car, yet its journey through the automotive market is best understood in the context of its competition. Among its most direct rivals, the Mazda MX-5 Miata and the Honda CR-X offer contrasting paradigms of what a compact, budget-friendly performance car can be, providing a rich backdrop for comparative analysis. Introduced around the same time as the first generation MR2, the Mazda MX-5 Miata and Honda CR-X each approached the affordable sports car concept differently. The MX-5 Miata, debuting in 1989, focused on rear-wheel drive balance and lightweight, often cited as reviving the classic roadster experience. Its straightforward, fun-to-drive ethos and reliability made it a hit, directly competing with the MR2's offering of an affordable mid-engine sports car experience. On the other hand, the Honda CR-X, launched in the early 1980s, was positioned as a sport compact car. It combined economy and performance in a front-wheel drive setup, offering a different take on the economical sports car theme by focusing on practicality and fuel efficiency, along with enjoyable driving dynamics. Performance-wise, each vehicle had its strengths, which catered to slightly different driver preferences. The Toyota MR2, especially in its supercharged and later turbocharged versions, offered mid-engine sports car dynamics that were rare in the segment, providing excellent weight distribution and handling characteristics. It was generally more powerful than both the Miata and CR-X, particularly in the turbo form, which made it a favorite among those looking for more spirited driving experiences. The Mazda MX-5 Miata, while less powerful in its early generations compared to the turbocharged MR2, boasted superior balance and agility thanks to its lightweight design and rear-wheel drive layout. Its performance was often described as more refined and responsive, especially in terms of steering and suspension feedback, which appealed to purists who valued driving feel over raw power. The Honda CR-X offered less in terms of outright performance, but made up for this with greater fuel efficiency and lower costs, along with surprisingly agile handling for a front-wheel drive car. It was often the choice for those who wanted a sporty yet practical and economical vehicle, a niche that neither the MR2 nor the Miata focused on directly. In terms of value, each car brought different advantages to the table. The MR2 was typically more expensive than the Honda CR-X, but was generally on par with the Mazda MX-5 Miata, depending on the model year and specifications. The MR2's pricing reflected its mid-engine layout and the performance potential, particularly in the later models with more advanced technology and power. However, the Miata often won on cost of ownership and simplicity, with its non-turbocharged engine making it cheaper to maintain and insure. Both the MR2 and the Miata held their value well in the used car market, especially well-maintained units or special editions. The Honda CRX, while valued for its practicality and efficiency, did not retain its value as well as the MR2 or Miata, primarily due to its positioning as more of an economy than a pure sports car. Decline and reasons. The decline and eventual discontinuation of the Toyota MR2 in 2007 can be attributed to a combination of internal and external factors, reflecting shifts in market trends, consumer preferences, and corporate strategy. Understanding why Toyota decided to cease production of the MR2 requires a multifaceted look into these dynamics. One significant external factor was the changing landscape of the global auto market, particularly the rise in popularity of SUVs and crossover vehicles. By the early 2000s, consumer preferences had shifted markedly towards more versatile and spacious vehicles, driven by increasing urbanization and the perceived safety and utility of larger cars. This trend diminished the market for compact sports cars like the MR2, which were perceived as less practical for daily use and family-oriented lifestyles. Internally, Toyota faced challenges with the MR2 that contributed to its decline. The sports car market is notably niche and cyclic, and maintaining profitability in such segments can be challenging. The MR2, particularly in its third generation as the Spider, was not achieving sales volume sufficient to justify continued production amid stiff competition and limited market demand. Additionally, the cost of developing sports cars with the technological and performance standards expected by contemporary consumers became prohibitively high, especially for a model that did not share many components with other vehicles in Toyota's lineup, which increased production and development costs. The 2000s saw a significant evolution in consumer expectations for vehicles. There was a growing emphasis on fuel efficiency, safety features, and in-car technology, areas where the MR2, with its focus on basic sports car pleasures and a minimalistic approach, lagged behind. Toyota, recognizing this shift, diverted resources towards developing its hybrid synergy drive technology, showcased in the Prius, which quickly became a symbol of modern, eco-friendly cars. This strategic realignment towards environmentally sustainable technologies reduced the focus on less efficient sports cars like the MR2. Toyota's decision to discontinue the MR2 was also influenced by broader corporate financial strategies aimed at maximizing profitability and market share in growing segments. This meant prioritizing global platforms that could be adapted across multiple vehicle types to reduce costs and streamline operations, and the MR2 did not fit into this broader corporate strategy. So, what are your thoughts on the Toyota MR2? Would you have owned one of these? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating car histories. Until our next automotive adventure, keep exploring.